welcome back to another video. So today we will be continuing the countdown of my favorite teams. I already have part 1 done. If you'd like to watch that one, I'll leave a link to it up here. But we're going to kind of get started off with number 15 and work our way down to number 1. So we'll see if your favorite team is in this top 15. Alright, so at number 15, and the biggest reason why a lot of the teams up to this point have taken a dive down, Vancouver. It started last year when I said they weren't the last place team because they had UC Jokinen. And ever since then, they've kind of just grown up more and more and more on my list. Markstrom, Goldobin, Barchi, and the biggest reason, Pettersson. Absolutely fantastic, and I find myself cheering for him every game to get points. I still like Edler, but man, watching Pettersson and Goldobin are just so fun to watch. And hopefully by the time you guys see this video, I will have ordered my blue Canucks jersey so I could get Jokinen put on there. Now that the Sedins are gone as well, and a huge reason they've gone up on this list. Nothing against them as humans. I'm sure they're fantastic human beings, are the Sedins, but as hockey players, I was never a fan of them. They were a huge reason I cheered very hard against the Canucks for as long as they've been around, pretty much. Alright, number 14, in the same spot they were from last year, the Carolina Hurricanes. Sebastian Aho, what can I say? He's so much fun to watch, such a skilled player, and I love their jerseys in Adidas. I love the fact that they're wearing Hartford jerseys, and I like their new third jersey as well, so put everything together. The only thing I was kind of disappointed for was the fact that they had a vote for the goal song contest, and the fans did not vote for the Brass Bonanza. Very sad that they didn't bring that. I thought that would have been cool. Very happy at least they brought it back on the Whalers nights. So, that's something. Even their post-game celebrations I'm a fan of. I know it's a very controversial thing. A lot of people don't like it. Unless you're losing sleep over it, really, why are you bitching about it? It doesn't affect you in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, I don't know. I love it. I think it's fun. If it brings a little bit more attention to your team from outside your market, outside your state, why not do it? Number 13, the New Jersey Devils. Up 8 spots from last year. It started last year kind of cheering for them for the first time in my life, to be honest. And even though John Moore and Michael Grabner both left, I can deal with it. I really like Nico Hischier. Taylor Hall is kind of growing on me as well. Love Pavel Zacha. I think he's my favorite player probably on the Devils at the moment. But just really fun to watch. The season Kyle Palmieri's had is very unexpected. And not going to lie though, the biggest reason they've moved up as much as they have is I absolutely love their jerseys. I don't mind their third jersey. The Christmas or Lucky Charms jersey or whatever the hell you want to call it. Their retro or heritage jersey. Whatever it is, I don't mind it. But their home and their away set, I think, are probably the best in the NHL at the moment. And honestly, it's that simple. I absolutely just love these jerseys so much. Every chance I get to watch the Devils play, I do, just so I can see these jerseys. I just really like them. For whatever reason, these jerseys are just fantastic, and I can't get enough of seeing them on the ice. So, that's really about it. I know my logic for why I like teams is kind of odd and unpredictable, but I don't really care. My list. Alright, number 12, the Calgary Flames. Hometown team, down 1 spot I think from where I had them last year. That's okay though. The way they've been playing, they don't need anything from me. Johnny Gaudreau is playing absolutely out of this world. He could definitely win the Hart, he could win the MVP, he could win everything right now. At this rate, he'll get the Conn Smythe. They are my pick to go out of the West to make it to the final. Whether or not they win, I don't know. We'll see. The way just everything seems to be clicking for this team. Even when they're not playing their best, they're still winning games. They're winning games that they shouldn't necessarily, and that's a great sign for Calgary Flames fans in the city. Bill Peters behind the bench has looked absolutely awesome. Seems to be getting the best out of the players. Monahan, Backlund's playing fantastic. David Rittich, he's great in net. Smith, we'll stay away from that one for right now. Lindholm. Elias Lindholm is right now my favorite Flame. He's looked absolutely great in this city. He definitely needed the clean start from Carolina. I don't think anyone expected it though. The season he's put up is, I think, beyond what anyone could have expected and anyone would have thought. James Neal, though, he's been the opposite. So it's balanced out, I think. And now I'm just rambling on, so I'm going to move on to number 11. All right, number 11, the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're down one spot from where I had them last year as well. Right now, I think that they are probably my pick to come out of the East to go to the Cup final, so that would mean a 2004 Stanley Cup rematch between the Lightning and the Flames. I think the Flames fans in this city would love a chance to beat Tampa for the Cup again. But right now, Tampa looks unstoppable. Nikita Kucherov, Braden Point, Stamkos, Palat, Johnson, everything. Yanni Gord, they're just firing on all cylinders. Every line, all the defense pairings, they look dangerous. It's just out of this world, and don't even get me started on the season that Vasilevsky's having. He's playing fantastic. How many times have I said fantastic in this video? That's what I want to know. But right now, yeah, Tampa is absolutely scary, scary good, and they're really fun to watch. So I hope they do well. I would love to see them get a chance at a cup. All right, number 10, up 5 spots from last year, the Arizona Coyotes. I had so much expectation for them this year. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them at all, which is really sad. I think if Antti Raanta could have stayed healthy, might be a little bit different. Grabner got injured, and he'd been playing really, really good up until that point where he got hurt. The Kachina jersey that they brought back, and Alex Galchenyuk, who they brought in, big reasons they moved up as well. Michael Grabner as well. And like I said, just super disappointed that the Coyotes didn't have a good year. I'm gonna say hopefully next year, but I've said that for the last 5 years with them. So, but I still really like them. Love their jerseys. It is what it is. Unfortunately, though, it's just not been there yet. All right, so at number 9, same spot as they were last year, the Colorado Avalanche. They started off so good, and they were my early pick to win the Cup. How foolish that was. I still like them, though. I've always really been a huge Avalanche fan. They've been as high as number 1 in points in my life. And, they're not leaving the top 10 anytime soon. So I love Mikko Rantanen. My favorite player, though, on the team right now is Sven Andrighetto. I still like Landeskog. McKinnon, he's good. Not as sold on their defense or the goalies. It's probably why they're struggling a lot this year. The jerseys, the third jersey, the goal horn, the goal song, whatever it is, I absolutely love it as well. Every time I get to hear it, it's fantastic. Gets me going. And I can't wait to get a Sven Andrighetto Adidas jersey at some point. All right, number 8. Again, same spot as they were last year, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Just when I thought they were going to maybe take a dive on the list, they bring out this third jersey, and all is forgiven. I absolutely love this jersey. I think I can't keep saying this, but it's one of my favorites. I absolutely love it. The only thing I really don't like about it, and it's not anything to do with the jersey itself, is the gloves. I really hate that they have their regular home gloves. I wish they were just all black. I think it would look way better. But it's such a small thing, doesn't really matter. But I really started to like Casey DeSmith, and I hope he steals a job from Matt Murray. Not a big Matt Murray fan. Crosby's still playing fantastic. I've started liking him a lot more the last 2 or 3 seasons. Malkin, he's had a bad year by his standards, I think, but I still like him. Unfortunately, they don't have a lot of players I really like anymore, but it is what it is. They'll always have a spot in my heart. They were my favorite team as a child growing up for the most part, with the exception of Colorado having a quick stint at number 1. But, Pittsburgh, they're just always going to have a fan in me at some point, and I don't really see them dropping out of the top 10 anytime soon. Number 7, the Nashville Predators. Again, they're one of the teams that has been in my top 10 for quite a while, the last 7, 8, 9 years probably. Really it started when they got Paul Kariya and Peter Forsberg. And I've kind of always cheered for them ever since then. Definitely been longer than 7 or 8 years. But I love Kevin Fiala, Victor Arvidsson, fantastic. UC Saros, one of my favorite. I really like Pecorine still. Roman Josi, probably my favorite defenseman in the NHL. It's just, they're fun to watch. I love their jerseys. They've definitely kind of grown on me. When they first came out with the Adidas ones, I hated them. But now they're some of my favorites, and I really would like to get the yellow Victor Arvidsson one. Number 6, they're in the same spot as they were last year as well. The San Jose Sharks. Timo Meier, Erik Karlsson, Marcus Sorensen, Thomas Hertl, Burns. I really like a lot of players on their team. I like Martin Jones, Aaron Dell. I could probably go on and on. They just have a lot of players that I really like. I didn't even mention Pavelski. How did I forget him? They're just such a fun team to watch, and I would love to see them win the Cup this year. There's about 4 teams that I would really, really like to see win, and they're one of them. So we'll see, and I absolutely love the jerseys. I love this one. I love the black one. I don't mind the white one as much. I like the Reebok version of it better, but yeah. Alright, so at number 5, the Dallas Stars. This is the first time, actually no, last year was the first time that I didn't have them in my top 4 in years. Mid-90s, I guess. I was born early 90s, so ever since I was a little kid, Dallas was always one of my absolute favorite teams. They still are, they're number 5, but having Roussel gone makes it a little easier to have him at number 5, I guess, as opposed to 4 or 3 or whatever I've had him in the past. I don't know, they just struggle so bad with inconsistency. They don't have the goaltending. They got called out by their team president or whoever about, lack of heart or trying or whatever it was. It's just a shame. I think they can do so much better, and they still have a lot of players I really like. That's why they're still so high. I love the jerseys. I think Radulov's probably been their best player the last 2 seasons, if I'm being completely honest. Maybe it's a little biased because I really like Radulov, but I don't know. Moving on though, number 4. Alright, so at number 4, down 1 spot from last year, the Florida Panthers. Florida, like Dallas, has been one of my favorite teams for as long as I can remember as a little kid. I absolutely love them. They still have quite a few players I really like. Evgeny Dodonov's still my favorite right now. Sad that Jokinen's no longer there. Yager was fantastic as a Panther. Really like Aaron Ekblad. Hoffman's been really good this year. Florida is sort of like Columbus and Minnesota in the fact that I've just kind of always wanted a little bit more out of them. And for whatever reason, they just can't seem to get it together, which is sad. But when they do, I'll be very, very happy because they can't be bad forever, can they? Florida is one of those teams, as a kid, it was probably the team I wanted to play for the most. I thought it would have been absolutely fantastic to live in Miami, South Florida, and play hockey. Go to the beach, go to the rink. What could be better? Alright, so at number 3, the LA Kings. This is the first time in many, many years that they've not been number 2. Through no fault of their own. There's just another team that I kind of fell in love with really, really a lot this past 2 seasons. And they kind of bumped LA down through no fault of their own. Nothing to do with the shitty season they've had. They've had really terrible seasons before. I don't know if they've been quite this bad, but yeah, just wasn't their year this year. They're getting older. I love Kovalchuk. Great to see him back in the NHL. Unfortunately, though, he's done nothing and really helped the Kings. If he gets traded at the trade deadline, I think that would be probably best for everyone. Still love their jerseys. Like them. But yeah. Alright, so number 2, moving up, 2 spots from last year, Vegas. The Vegas Golden Knights, I have absolutely just fallen in love with. They are so much fun to watch, and they will always be in my top 5 going forward for the next however long. Watching them play as last year and making it all the way to the Cup final, which I did not expect, they just got a fan in me now. I hope they win the Cup this year. This is the team that I want to win the Cup the most out of anyone this year. I want Vegas to win. The way Vegas plays, it's just so exciting, and they're just new. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I love the jerseys. I love a lot of the players on the team, and I still think they have a chip on their shoulder and have something to prove to the teams that let them go 2 off seasons ago. The way Vegas has played this year, I know they got off to a bit of a slow start. They've definitely rebounded, and I think they can have potential for a long playoff run this year as well, but we'll see. Moving on, number 1. So I'm not going to get into too much detail, but we all know New York Rangers are my favorite team in the NHL. So number 1, New York Rangers. Notice it said NHL though. They're my favorite team in the NHL. Not necessarily in hockey in general. We'll get to that later. But you know, everything about the New York Rangers I love. Like I said, I'm not going to get into too much detail. So there you have it. My top 31 favorite NHL teams. Thanks again for watching. I hope this wasn't too long of a video. I'll see how long it is when I edit it. But you guys can always check me out on Twitter and Instagram as well. I'll leave links to those down below. And don't forget to subscribe. I'm almost at 300. And I would love to get there at some point pretty soon. But like I said, thanks again for watching. And I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.